My name is Alex, and this is Bento Radio. And today I have a very special guest whose screen name is Andrewcockroach. I have some questions about that screen name. What would you like me to call you? I have
Yeah,
no.
Andrew, that's right. Yeah,
So, Andrew,
yeah.
for
Even though
sake
my
of
real name
this.
is Andrea.
But so tell everybody about yourself just a little so they can get an idea.
Oh, yes. As you know, I'm a visual artist. Mainly a concept artist and illustrator, but that wasn't plan number one in my life. So I was a musician actually. I studied music,
Okay.
studied recording engineering and all that stuff at the university here in my city actually. But it wasn't good as I was expecting. So at some point, drawing was just an hobby for me. At some
I
point,
spent
I
a couple
just
years doing freelance creative work. I spent most of a decade doing freelance creative work in New York City. Any version of it can get pretty rough.
yeah, I just remember I was trying everything I could with the music career, but it wasn't going very good. Yeah, and I had the hobby of drawing. I always had in my whole life this thing of drawing as a side thing of my life. It was never too serious, but at some point I started to draw more and more. And I don't know how. I remember it was like time of art forums like Then Art or maybe Art Station. I can remember right now, but
Yeah.
found like very first little freelance job, and I realized that the money was actually better than my real work. Yeah, I need to put my more into drawing than music, and so yeah, it's plan B for me actually.
Well,
And
hey, that's not a
yeah,
bad plan B from what I've noticed over on
no, it was.
Instagram.
I think it was the right choice. Yes,
I actually,
but
I've talked about this on this very show a couple times. I trained right up until my second year of college to be an animator. So I've gone through basically
no,
all the formal training of
yeah,
animation. Then I thought to myself, like, I like the idea of being able to like sleep in my own bed every night and like, and that's actually when I switched to second career choice, which was design, and I was a freelance graphic design
no,
and like
yeah,
director, art director for many years,
yeah,
like the New York metro area. And then I got, much the way you got kind of annoyed with the music industry, I got annoyed with that industry, and now I do something totally different. It's only
yeah,
vaguely related. Still creative,
yeah,
but vaguely related. How
yeah.
long have you been at the like concept illustration, all that stuff?
You want to know how much time I've been like or just general, like since I start
Let's start
drawing
with
as a
general and
concept
then
art.
like hit
Yeah.
both
Okay.
interest me, honestly.
When I started interest in like art illustration, it was maybe 15 years ago or a
Okay.
bit more. It was before 2010, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
When I started practicing more with concept art and illustration, it was a very fast time before I started to work as a professional. Actually, it was like 2 years.
Okay,
And
yeah.
so this time, maybe 2 years, 3 years later, I started to work as a freelancer, not very professional, but you know,
Money and you gave them work.
yeah, it was about kids and that stuff. I remember probably the first real job was a book for kids, maybe.
Okay, that
Yeah,
total sense. I mean, one of my very first jobs as a graphic designer
yeah,
professionally was setting up somebody's Facebook page.
yeah.
Like there's a version of that for every creative thing out there, I'm sure. What did your setup look like? I'm just curious. Are you primarily I mean, I've been posting more process
Uh,
stuff, but I just,
yeah. It's a bit different from how it was years ago when I was in more traditional drawing.
yeah.
I don't touch a pencil, at least since 10 years from now. I don't. So my right now it's truly digital. I have a PC, a big screen, like it says 24 inches.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've got the same thing, but not like the I don't have like a one. I'm not that rich, but I have kind of this thing sitting literally below my camera.
Man, I want to bad advertising, but it's not a great experience. It's actually the third screen that I get replaced because after a few months the screen start to show black on the screen, or I don't
Oh
know. It's
yeah,
not a
yeah, I
new
got
much better like the Cintiq, the HD one. It was much better. Like I had one for 8 years and it's still perfect. It's in its box. It still works. But these new ones, the 4K, I believe it's a 4K resolution. I don't know. This new technology is not very good.
you.
It's I told you I changed it this one 3 times. Yeah.
I
So I
no, sorry, go ahead.
no no. But besides that, it works pretty well. And the only thing I use for drawing is I have that and a pair of pen. One is a pen and the basic one. So I don't need anything else actually to do my job. So I have this desk with two monitors. One of them is the Wacom. I have a shelf with a lot of art books and nothing more. Yeah, and yeah, pretty
I've
a light setup. Yeah,
I've been diving back into art books. Like I heard one that should show up at some point. But also straight up I'm a menace when it comes to like, ooh, I'll just buy this. Um, so much so that I don't know about, probably not in Italy, but at least where I am, they pot. And like I have a
yeah,
hard and fast rule of like I'm not allowed to buy anything if I'm high because that it'll just be over. I'll just spend my entire bank account in a night. But I a lot of like art. I made the including your account on Instagram. I made the choice a bunch of years ago to switch from like following my friends and all this stuff because I wasn't seeing any of that anyway. I just decided like I'm just gonna load up on my Instagram with artists, and that's part of the way I've been doing these interviews. I've been following people like you or Jess or Phil
yeah,
Tomato for years at this point.
yeah.
Um, but
I,
I noticed that you a lot more experimental stuff that doesn't feel finished, but doesn't feel like the last thing you posted.
yeah,
And I piece to piece, I noticed you like messing with different versions of coloring, messing
yeah,
with like no background. Sometimes you're like this most of this piece is a background and the character
yeah.
is really set in the world that you made there. Any like hard and fast rule where you look at something and you're like, I don't want a background on this, or like I have this coloring, or do you go through phases or something?
Oh yeah, no, that's a good question. Actually, I always went through phases, and actually, I never liked this thing. Like, I felt like I was able to set a personal standard, like, and doing the same thing, like a same process. That's probably my main goal. And but often I get distracted by, can be that when I work during my working day, we use different techniques of coloring or different techniques of drawing, and like at the end of the day, when I spend some hours drawing for myself, I like to experiment what I learned during the day job, to try to put all the stuff into my part, but I always feels like I process, and that's probably the reason why sometimes there are a lot of different techniques of colorings in my drawings, or a lot of experimental stuff. But that's not my goal actually. I'm trying to set a personal standard, like a way to work that is always the same, and I can do that like endlessly. And lately posting a lot more on social media just because I'm drawing a lot more after the work. I try to train every day, basically every night after the job. When the job is closed, when I send the material to the company, I close everything and I start to draw for myself. And I'm trying to find a way that it always works. Like I want to at this point of my career, I don't want to think anymore too much about what I'm doing. I just want to
Yeah.
have a lot of material for a possible future book again. Now I have three art books out there. I want a new one, but I that I need um okay, maybe strange to a
No,
strange
no,
feeling,
go
but
for it.
yeah, I like to see completely in peace with this side of me of myself. I need the drawings in more version, like a black and white version and a coloring version. In this way,
Okay.
I can
I
feed
relate to that.
both the sides. Yeah, because I like inks, I like the screen tones, I like to draw like working on a manga panel.
Yeah.
But I also like I also like to and so usually I don't do that. But lately you are noticing there are a lot of uh double of the same drawings on my page, and I think that's the I found a way to always the same process. As I told you, I can fit both the sides of me because I always like to work in different ways.
Yeah.
And I found, it's something totally in my head, but I found a way lately. That's why
Oh, you cut out there for a second. Let's pause it. And
yeah,
sorry about that. There was a slight technical hit, but you were saying.
yeah. So, like, resume, I think that I need to on different version of the same drawing to stay in peace with myself. Just I realized this lately, and yes, probably that's why you found different versions of the same drawing,
Yeah.
and you see me experimenting with different, totally different version. Or I also trying to put back into my works, or all of my works now are kind of closed down. There are no legs, not full heads. They are like,
Yeah.
like this cat right now, this kind of up image. And probably because it's the upside that I do in my job when we work
Okay.
on
Yeah.
full
I
directors, you don't
feel
want to
like you're
have a
like
page. I just want to have like this page to be very recognizable in some way.
our stuff to be some of the most recognized. Like I,
Thank you. Thank
what's
Yeah,
yours?
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Never feel like your like thoughts is weird. I I like to draw
I
every
have a
day
very
for
weird process. It's
I
even
draw personal
explain
reasons,
it. Like what?
and I draw every day for like my own
Yeah,
sanity. It's like
that's really
therapy.
important. It's really important. Like drawing for company, it's very important. You can
Yeah.
learn a lot of things. Like now, Supercell, I'm learning daily new things. Like it's kind of school, but I need 1 or 2 hours every night before I go to sleep. I just need those few hours for me for like without too much about what I'm drawing.
Yeah, it's just
Like
kind of
sleep
like
free.
at the end you end up with something really. It's the way I always think about it. I'm like, well, that didn't go the way I was planning, but I also wasn't planning anything. So um and I at some point made a pretty conscious effort. I mean, like an illustration that I'll share around, but usually that's really it. Like I don't the drawings do not make it anywhere outside of my iPad or like shown to not like something I do like consciously professionally for social media or any of that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
On that note, though, your drawings get playfully racy. Like I noticed a while ago you started adding pubic hair to all of your characters. Do you think about striking that balance? Are you worried about like knocking on the door of like the
yeah.
social
So
platforms or any of that? Is that something you think about, or is it just like something that naturally? And how do you balance all that?
yeah, that's probably sad. It's funny. I remember it was maybe 5 years ago, maybe more. I can remember now, but just for a case, I drew things just because without any reason.
Yeah,
And yeah, realized that, oh wow, like I probably saw a drawing with that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we are here in we have great artists from the 80s that were
Oh
actually
yeah,
aerobic
absolutely.
artists,
I've to Italy and Rome. Like I know like
But yeah, it was serious stuff, it was a funny thing.
yeah.
So, like, yeah, I got this element, but in a funny way, not in a sexual way. I
I remember one where you braided the hair. I'm like, okay, he's having fun.
yeah, that's probably most like a drawing on my Instagram right now.
Yeah. Putting together an art book. What's that like look like?
Oh, yeah, it's like therapy because I don't deal really good with my past art.
Okay.
About myself. I never like what I do. And the
Do you
more
have that thing where
time,
you look at your art and you're like, oh, I got better in the last like 2 months?
I mean, like me, like after one,
Okay, I get you. Like
so,
I'm like,
yeah, sometimes I to the impulse to go back to bed art and adjust something here and here and there. And are pieces that actually I update constantly, just because I need to know that everything is okay.
yeah, I
When I tell me,
draw on an iPad, and I use Procreate, and it saves all of your drawings. So like
yeah,
I have amounts of drawing at this point on multiple iPads, and every once in a while I'll scroll down looking for a very specific one. I'll be like, oh, I was worse 2 months ago. I'm better now. When did that
yeah.
happen?
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that every day. But I think that more or less any artist is like that. I don't know, but maybe there is some people, some artists that can deal better with their art. But in my case, it's not a very good relationship that I have with my with yeah.
I think creative people in general, like if they see that's not their relationship with their work, they're probably
Yeah,
lying, if not to you, to themselves. Like,
that is very possible. Yeah, but we all have to act like we are very confident. But no, jokes apart. Okay, and when it comes time to put together a book,
yeah.
you have to look back for like to all that is that you made like 3 years, 4 years ago. Now I have three books out there. That means that I put together a book every 3 years, maybe now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you
Yeah.
have three material to put together, and you have to look to very old stuff or to things that you completely forgot about. And so that's my way to build a better relationship with my art because I do the page work all by myself. Actually, the editor could do that, but I always ask her to please let me do this thing. I always to do it by myself. And so how I put together a book? Well, I start open tons of files, and first to order the files by them, full bodies or full illustration,
Okay.
background illustration, not background illustration. When most of the work is done, I start to think about dominant colors or them like sport or cyberpunk or fantasy. I
Like
try to
you try to
put in
section
a
it
different
off
group. Yeah,
somehow. Yeah.
yeah. I like to put art just random in my.
No, I
You
get
know?
that. Do you have a system that like you consistently use to keep all of your work organized so that it's easier when it comes time
No,
for you to put together stuff for a book?
no, no. All files are named the same way. It's like an endless with the same name, but it changed the last number. It changed. So I,
Okay.
I I don't even know what I'm going to open when I start to do the page work. So the first steps are always the hardest ones, probably. I need to understand like which was the last drawing I used in the previous book. I had to start from there because
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
you have
I'm
like
constantly searching my own podcast feed to be like, did I talk about this show already? Oh no, I hope I didn't.
yeah, yes, yes. You have the last drawing of the previous book and then the first drawing of the next book.
Yeah.
Okay, once I'm from there, it's okay, it's done. Uh, but yeah, usually I to make the page work like consistent, just not random.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because
Yeah,
I
so you will
realized
find a
that
section of the book where all the drawings have a dominant color like red, or all the drawings have a dominant theme like armors or swords or cyberpunk. Usually I the black and white drawing for the last part of the book, and I usually put probably the my favorite color illustration on the first pages. These are the only rules. Yeah. And since I'm not a graphic designer, I
no,
started that when I was at high school. I actually studied graphic design, but I wasn't very good at it. I need
there are
to,
people who would argue that I wasn't very good at that
yeah,
either, and I did it professionally. So don't
yeah.
worry. Um,
Well, so I need the real art book on my table because I actually need to see how much I can shrink or enlarge an image on the screen, because I don't even know how it will look when it goes printed. So I
okay, yeah,
need to check.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So I same always the two Capcom books that I see just to check if the size is good.
Oh, no
Like,
no
yeah,
offense. I am king of like, what's this? Like, I've got in my head that I wanted to design a deck of tarot cards. That never went anywhere. But I was like, what's the actual size of a tarot card? It has to be out there
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
I'm
You never
like,
know
if I just
what
wing
if I
this, it
break a
won't be
book
right.
and the characters are just like small, or
Yeah,
even want to have all the things too large. Like, I don't think it's good. I like to have some pages with not very large drawings, like
yeah,
maybe 15 full body characters. I think it's nice to fill the pages like that way. So I try to not show too wide things or too small things. And I
yeah.
always need an actual printed book to see enjoying.
Do you self like when you because you have a bunch of art books, I have a bunch too. Do you find yourself like critiquing them? I don't think I would have done that way, or this is really interesting the way they treat this, and like wanting to get your next art book. 'Cause it seems like you plan on keep doing these books every so often.
Oh, well, there are books that um, I don't know. Let's think again. Please repeat the. I think I've lost
Do
some
you
of the
find
question because
yourself okay? Do you self
please again.
being like critiquing art that you buy just to like have art that you can use as reference points and looking for things that you could do in your next art book?
Oh, first of all, books are pretty old because I don't buy an art book since maybe years. So
Oh,
I
okay,
have,
gotcha.
yeah, just because follow much more the social media side of the artist. Like, it's much to see new art on social media, and I got a bit lazy about buying art books. So the main references for me are always the same books that
Okay,
are
yeah.
old, like from the 2000.
Okay.
And yeah,
I got a bunch of those sitting in my like personal bookshelf, I promise.
yeah, and mainly Capcom art books.
Okay.
Uh, And that's every time I see one of those books, I think like, okay, then I'm going to try to put the things more like that book. Something that I miss in my books is the page, like some graphics on the page. I like that some books have, as with the artist comments
Yeah.
or some graphics around the page to frame the, the artworks. Never did that because I'm not very good at that. So, in all books, the page are fully white and with just the artworks. But maybe for the next one, I would like to put some more content, like small boxes, comments, like how I did at work, or some a section from the something more. I would like to work something more toward that direction for my next books, probably, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
That you've been more on social media, and you mentioned that you have an art station. I guess I have two questions really. What's your relationship like with Instagram? Like the it all.
I have a very, very bad with social media. Like, I'm
Okay.
going to be serious right now. they are. I'm not to say social media are ruining my life, but I spend really a lot of time in social media right
You're
now.
not alone. I asked this question to everybody I talk to for a reason because everybody has some real deep feelings.
Yeah. For example, our social like I have social media right now. I have Instagram and X.
Okay.
I open X to post my art and I close it. I never
I do.
use.
I got off of X because I posted
Oh
about
wow!
threads.
Oh
I
wow!
got off of X because I posted about threads when Instagram launched threads. And it was in this like period when they were just threads on Instagram, they'd kick you
Yeah.
off. It was like
Oh wow!
insane. And I'm like, I don't want to be involved with
Yeah.
X ever. I just
Yeah.
don't want to do it.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah, Derry,
I
you're
think
super not
yeah,
alone on
my
that score.
relationship with X is very good because I just open it, I post my work, and I close it. It's over.
That is the
Uh,
correct way to use that at that point.
I think I algorithm is nice at least for artists. It's a progressive growing of the page.
Yeah.
Uh, the numbers are good. I never had any problem with X. I just post my art and close it. It's the perfect relationship.
You're like,
Instagram,
I don't need this other that's over there. I'm gonna post this and then it just turns off and I'm done.
yeah, yes,
That
yes.
that's
Instagram is another just is big as a viewer and as a content creator. So as a viewer, I spend a lot of time watching shit like memes, no stuff.
I'm
I
the same
also
way,
watch
don't worry.
a lot of good art. I follow a lot of artists. It's great, but I lose myself into really no sense stuff. It's impossible to escape from
So
that.
I'm gonna give you a great suggestion that I did a bunch of years ago. I got a digital photo frame, and you
Uh-huh.
can clip art out of Instagram. I mean, it's not you're stealing it or like selling it, and
Uh-huh.
it to the digital photo frame, and that totally changed the way I get to see all of the
Oh
artists I
wow.
follow.
Yeah.
Because now like it's my nightstand. I see it every day and it carousels through and I get to see great artists I follow without all the
Hmm.
stuff around it, which I
Yeah.
found really satisfying, if that helps.
Yeah. Wow, wow. I was right this indeed. But I just do my experience as a viewer. As a content creator is even worse probably because
Oh no.
I algorithm in Instagram is very, very unstable.
Yeah, it's not.
It's like I don't know every month. I don't know. You don't never know how to work with Instagram. Sometimes they are going to punish you because you are not using reels, or there are other frames of time where your pics actually have good numbers, very high numbers. Then everything goes down suddenly without no with you lose thousands of followers for no reasons, or you gain thousands of followers for no reason. It's like playing an insane game that and I need probably less at these things. I have just to post and close it like just like I do for with X probably.
That's
uh,
probably healthy.
yeah, I think the biggest of Instagram is that they are trying to emulate TikTok and all that stuff. So
Yeah, stories you're not alone. The very first person I
yeah,
talked to, she's handled Eat Slugs. If you want to check her out, she's a Italian, but she lives in America.
oh yeah,
She has the exact same reaction. She's like, and I started this question because maybe like a year ago, she completely freaked out. Basically, anyway, if she could write about anything, she was like, "Why is no one seeing anything I'm making? What's happening?"
yeah,
Because her profession, I mean, she's did a guest artist cover for the latest Harley Quinn
yeah,
DC comic, really excellent. But at that time, she was much more like professionally looped in with her social feeds, and she was just like really deflated. Just like, I don't know why no one's seeing anything. I don't know why I'm losing
yeah,
followers. I don't know why everything seems to hate me all
yeah,
of a sudden. Like,
yeah.
so I'm like, I
I
gotta end
I
that, and
completely,
that's basically
completely
everybody
understand.
else. And just about everybody has some bad feelings about like dealing
Yeah,
with social
I mean,
media
I
point.
that because it's a really bad experience. Like, okay, they like a cleaning fake account. So
Yep.
when you
Yeah.
have more than 2,000, I don't know how many followers I have right now, but when you have like a very numbers, is it possible that you lose maybe even some thousands, like 3,000, 4,000,
Yeah.
because they are not non-active profiles, or worries me the most. It's like the completely random. Like
Oh
uh,
yeah. I
sometimes I went like shadow ban, no reason, but it was like it's just my post reach like anyone for once, like a punishment for no reason, and then everything goes back to normal. I think that's constantly try to experiment with their. They of course want you to use the reels, not
yeah.
just the reels, but also a certain of music. Like we want you to use that hit, that number one song, because if you use that song, your reel will inside. Or if you use our new app, I don't remember I would called, but I'm using that for my reels right now.
I
uh
think it's called
yeah,
edits.
I think
I know.
if
Yeah.
you use Instagram edits, your reels will move more. Yeah, I don't know, you have to play their games or nothing. And I don't that very
So
much, I get to be honest.
as somebody who started out doing this years ago, just wanting to make an audio podcast, and now very clearly making video, I totally empathize with that.
Yeah,
What I feel about like make because you notice that you're doing more reels, probably for the reasons you mentioned. How do you feel
yeah.
about that? Like, do you feel like you have some control over it, or is it just like I'm making this in the hope that it helps stuff travel farther?
So I started making reels, uh trying to just an experiment, just to see how the algorithm would respond to this change of.
Yeah.
But I found out that like the my followers want me to post photos and not. And then
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, Paul to understand, trying to. It came out that probably people want really more drawings and not reels, but I'm actually having fun. It's more something for myself because I never actually showed how I work. I have like one or two online classes, but that's different. Like showing,
Yeah.
it's nice to show fast clips or of how you draw, or your process. I think it's something that might like, but I think I'm a bit lazy because you have to put the phone, you have to make the recording, so then you have to open the Instagram edits and make all the edits. I actually like to edit the videos. I always had like a certain passion. I always worked with sequencers, even in music. So I like that side of the process a lot. But I feel a bit forced,
Yeah.
like to make videos. Okay, like Instagram, I try like that. I think it's not very good. I think that every artist should make like the fuck he wants to promote his arts.
Yeah.
There are no
I'll
rules.
tell you that
And
Jess,
yeah,
like her, every time she has that freak out, she like it happens today and the next day she's like, you know what? I don't care. Like I'm just post what I
yeah,
post.
yeah.
It'll do what it
So
does.
yeah,
It's
I
fine.
just meet social media from like Instagram from years ago. It's something that I miss. It was totally different. It was a better place. So yeah,
I
I
do for
really
that.
don't have a good relationship with the media, with Instagram, with this. That's my diary.
What to put anybody on blast here? I can ask this question a different way if you can't answer. But
Yeah.
who have been your favorite people to do concept art for, and why?
No, I don't have any problem in talking about this because I think that probably the best thing I worked on so far are just these last years with the Supercell company. I think it's the best like I had so far, and probably the most funny and interesting concept I had to work on. So I would say probably Supercell right now. It's the best place for
Okay, no,
me. Well,
I
I
wondered
worked
because
on the
I
most
know that you do
interesting
do concept
concepts.
art and you include some of that stuff in probably in your books as like you put them out. I just, but also somebody who has worked in graphic design for a decade. I know every once in a while they're like, "Can you just sign this NDA?" And if we never use it, people never see it. And there's all kinds
Oh,
of rules around that stuff.
oh my God. Well, I have like my main job for a lot of years, for many years, like more than years, was for a company that produced tabletop games.
Yeah,
And yeah, and I know how many completed projects, like fully complete, like totally complete. Hundreds of for miniatures, hundreds of splash arts, hundreds of concept art
yeah.
that I can show, and it all of it will never be produced because it's like finished in the
It's in
inactive
of
folder.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
my collaboration with them is over, and I I would fill a whole art book with even with really like,
Yeah.
and I can
Okay. But
yeah
for Macy's, so like Macy's, because they work with so many different brands and because they've done some stuff graphically specifically to typefaces on the back end, you can't take any of that work with you. So when you're a graphic designer and you've worked for Macy's, you put it on your resume and they'll call Macy's and Macy's will be like, yes, this person on it worked here.
yeah
Here's what they worked on. No, we can't show you. And it's just this like honor system like, okay, yeah, Macy's, we'll take word on that and we're never going to see any of it because we never see any of it, period.
yeah. For
But
myself, working on projects that lasted 5 years, 4 years. Imagine that you draw every day for 4 years for the same project.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, that project will be never released, and you don't have the right to show what you have done.
I have
Yeah,
I have at least one that's like that.
yeah,
It was a tech security firm. I literally don't remember the name of it because like I can't do the name of it, but I so what's the point
yeah,
of remembering it? And all I know is that I signed an NDA and that particular work is sitting somewhere in Zurich in like a vault
yeah.
of just
But
they'll probably never use it, but they don't want it shown. Weird. Why?
there is another thing that I don't like that I don't know if it works, but sometimes I'm not to make or anything. It's just
I
like
don't
let's
blame you. Go
make
for it.
it. But sometimes I worked with people which the artistic direction was so strong that pissed me off because the result wasn't 100% me. It was
Okay,
like
yeah, I get.
you directed and we changed it, things thousand of times, and the result is that I can post that works. I can post those works, but I won't. I won't
It
because
doesn't do anything for you because
it's
it's
not
not
connected with.
in your style. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, I can see my style. It's just me that like things are in my mind, but I got pissed off because the direction wasn't good team. I don't like it. I didn't like the situation of in the team, so I will never post those works just because I don't like it. And yeah,
Yeah, right now that's just a bad art director. As someone who's been an art director, like you technically should be matching the project you're working on to whoever you think is the best artist, not just kind of going out and looking for an artist just carte blanche because that won't ever really work. And so many artists and illustrators, I'm sure you know, they for the kinds of things they're capable of, and very often, actually, the illustration industry in Japan is really good about this. They'll hire an artist who just because they're great at coloring food for food
yeah,
and say kind of like go wild. Very often, especially in Western creative industries, they'll be like, okay, we have this roster of artists. We just kind of put them and hopefully it works out. When really you should be
yeah,
a lot more selective. Like it sounds to me like whoever that was and whatever job that was, it shouldn't have even come to you. Like it should have gone to somebody else who was more suited to it. And it's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. It shouldn't be on you to have to say no to a paycheck, essentially.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just that probably the worst ever is that someone comes to you and asks you to draw like another artist. Like, hey, can
Oh,
you more
yeah.
like that? No, call call that. Don't call me.
Like,
Like
like that. I don't want to. You're
no,
offering me money, so I probably will because like I have to pay, but please don't
yeah.
make me.
No, no, no. There is a big difference, like between a mood board, like gathering references,
Yeah.
influences. All of us has his own influences. Uh, I have strong Capcom influences, and you can see it maybe not lately, but more or less you can see which my influences are in my works. But
I mean, I've
I
seen.
do to draw like another person. Like it's not a thing. Maybe if you are to learn something like in a art school, probably
Yeah.
I never went to an art school, but I guess that probably that could be a good exercise, like emulating other art, just to learn the technique, but not for any other purpose that it's not like learning.
No, you mean myself taking like style cues and like techniques from artists, but like I'll never straight up ape anybody because there's no real point to it. I know I
No.
can if absolutely necessary, like a couple of years. I used to, I'm not sure I will anymore just because it's incredibly stressful. I used to do Inktober every year.
Yeah.
And one year there was a prompt, one of the prompts was dragon. I was like, this is
Hmm.
the perfect opportunity to just do fan art of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid, an anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just drew a Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid character, like freehand. Fully knew I could do it, like had a reference in front of me, fully knew I could do it. And people were like,
Uh-huh.
you kiss? I'm like, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
so boring.
Yeah.
As a way to do that stuff, it's kind of like being an impressionist of a famous person who gets hired when that famous person gets canceled culturally, if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah.
when like Godfrey, he was still alive, said something horrific on stage somewhere, and everybody fired him, and then everybody realized, oh, Gilbert Godfrey sounds very specific. Now we have to hire Gilbert Godfrey impersonators because we can't be caught paying him money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very
Yeah, but by the way, I don't feel like this is something that belongs to I that's the idea. I don't know if this is true, but probably this isn't a problem of the Asian industry. I don't feel like they are looking for someone else to draw like, you know, my collaboration with Western people. That I mean with Western people,
yeah.
never with Korean people or
Because
Japanese
they
people.
even before it was like a huge name before like Asian pop was a huge deal, they were responsible for making so like Batman the series from the 90s was primarily animated in Japan and
Yeah,
Korea. So like
yeah.
Japan in like from like in New Year's area of like 2023 to 2024, the amount of stuff that is just anime style for like Chinese essentially gambling that are on billboards is like stunning because they doing all of the in-between work and all of the like for years and they
Hmm.
just have the and they just
Mm.
applied it to like their own gambling now. Like
Yeah.
it never surprises, but because they've been doing that for so long, it's they put more in like people who have a unique take or a unique like approach to something. Certainly Western industries who are a lot more commercial about it. Like when somebody piece of art for of as used to work in advertising, they'll stretch that for as long as they can, constantly. They'll like be like, how do we use this as many times as possible so we don't have to go back and pay for another like asset for that create that, we might not have the budget for that.
Oh
Somewhere on
yeah,
the
yeah,
top, a decision was made and it sucks, kind of thing. But
yeah.
that, at least that's how I've always seen it in my brain. But it's nice to know that like that's not just being slightly crazy, like that is reflected somehow.
Yeah, I at least these are always personal ideas. Maybe not everyone will agree with me. I don't know, but when I uh, this, I find probably Japan has a connection with their old art, like with their ancient. If you have books, any books like, I mean, like,
Okay, yeah. I've got around here somewhere. The page it's old and the pages don't hold up, so I'm not gonna hold it up, but I have a
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
When you go
similar thing,
stuff like
yeah.
this, you know, through connection, their modern art and with their ancient art, like from the
Well,
very, very
have
day,
you been to Asia out of
Oh yeah,
curiosity?
I've been in Tokyo.
Okay, so like you know care of all the temples like that like you can
Yeah,
find like
yeah,
yes they're very like bulldozing things and putting up news but like the stuff that's into them they take
yeah,
care of forever.
yeah. Not that, as I told you, they have a true connection with old art and modern art. Like uh, these are that goes, it's far from I don't know how many centuries ago, but you can find some common points with the anime art. They never had the need themselves. You know, but
Yeah,
I see all the rest of the world instead of looking at their past art, they all
yeah.
look to Japan like we need more stuff. We want to be more like them. I mean, I'm one of Western guys that draw with anime style, so probably I'm not the best person to to say
Oh, no,
that.
I am
But
too. I just don't publish it, I promise. Oh, so
this is something that I always notice that they don't give a fuck about the rest of the world when it comes to talk about art. The
the
rest of
thing
the
that
world
I
is
think
always
that
looking to Japan. They set the standard after all, at least
yeah,
for what I like and what I follow the most. They always set a standard. There is
so
no
the thing
game.
that I've
It's another.
noticed is that
Yeah.
they don't divorce you so like for like a and I'm just speaking in American terms here, but for like an
Yeah.
American film way,
Uh-huh.
they like a film from America, say a Pixar movie, the next Pixar movie, they've loaded up with so much celebrity and so much like stuff that is from the actual creative process that like
Hmm.
the creativity isn't what's being sold. It's being sold like you sell an iPhone essentially. But
Yeah.
from once again specifically, but also oftentimes more East Asia in general, they're selling the like the creative process
Yeah.
pretty immediately, and there's no like, well, you can listen to the soundtrack to this. No, you can't. It's
Mm.
all linked back to the creativity and the creative process and like the actual art work that people are doing.
Yeah.
And it otherwise like in I'm sure this the Western allows for much more divorce from the creator than the Eastern model does, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
Um, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Um, what? Let's hear a little bit. You talked about art. That you following artists like I do on Instagram. Who are three artists that you now that you're following?
Oh wow. Okay. I need to about the names mostly because I always, I'm not with names, but there is a guy that on Instagram is called Arwana Art,
Okay.
and for what I'm publishing a book with the same editors of mine right now. I
Okay.
think he's Korean. The mainly does at least on his Instagram profile full body, like fantasy full body, mostly girls with big swords. And I think he has like one of the best styles I've ever seen recently.
Oh, it's
It's
great. I love
totally,
finding stuff like that.
I mean, this guy, if he's a guy or a girl, I don't know, but is unstoppable. Like he constantly do full bodies. I think he has thousands of concepts, all top-notch quality. Some of more refined, of them are more sketchy, but oh God, man, I love that kind of stuff. Like, kind JR. But I think it is Korean. But I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm crap. It could be Japanese. I don't know. I think I will buy his book now that it will come out with my editor. I will try to understand. But yeah, yeah.
Look up a
Uh,
named, I think I'll have to look it up and I'll send it to you totally after. The illustrator named, I think it's like Guize, and he does
uh,
really hyper realistic, but like surrealist
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's one of those guys that I consider like another league. Like, my gosh, his painting skills are so out of this world. I don't know. Yeah, I was
I'm like, I technically of that, but I'm not sure
yeah
I can't amount of time you sink into something like that. Just alone, because I mean, I know work at this point hours.
yeah.
Like,
That's totally I told you totally another league. I was just trying to think. I don't want to say less famous artists, but Gu Waits is very famous on the Instagram. So I was trying to think about something that I don't know. Maybe you don't know. For you, maybe you discover. You know.
oh, absolutely.
So
That's
yeah,
when I asked this question.
yeah.
Like, I
There
want
is. I
more.
need. I for the name because I think it's very hard to pronounce, but there is this other guy. Yeah.
By the way, for having a very pronounceable screen name, like I didn't have to take a shot in the dark.
I'm I'm so sorry. I'm not going to pronounce this name really well, but it's called Peter Bacher,
Okay.
and I can see you the surname if you want. It's like Mobacher, more Bacher.
Okay. Gotcha. That
Yeah,
sounds like a challenge.
I think he's like a master painter. I know someone really, really, really top notch. Don't know, but he basically drew of I mean, he paint. He fully paints. Some kind of very epic angels of a kind. Like you think about the angel from Neon Genesis Evangelion, but more in a painting style with angel with extra arms or very
Yeah.
epic time. He basically does that, and you should check his name because I think it's one of my favorite on Instagram right now. I always look at his paintings. They are so unique, like uh I don't know, fit inside a church.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. All of these angels are very, not just he's capable of big angels, and he mostly does that on at least for what I'm saying on his page, and I love his style. Totally far and totally another kind of style from mine. It's totally the opposite, probably. It's
yeah. No,
very
totally.
realistic. Yeah, it's very master painter with Photoshop. I love to when he also does reels about his work process. It's such a master. Like I love it. Yeah.
I'll see his profile on like message. I'll
I'm going.
definitely
Yeah.
check it out.
Later, I'm going to his profile, and so you can check it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like I a lot of the reason why I asked this question is because I want to like find new art beyond I like already take in because it's very hard to like break out of what the kind of stuff that you see on all the algorithms. I'm sure you know that. Um, so much so that I go to an anime convention a year and I actually cover it as press, but I like walk around the artist alley, and the sheer amount of artist alley work was like
Mm.
a name attached, same style of thing because they're all pulling from the same references and they're all following the same people. Is really
Yeah.
always astonishing to me. Part of the reason why I like Jess's work is because she does artist alley tables and just her stuff stands out immediately. It's just like, oh, That's not just like a different name. It's totally different, which
Yeah,
I would really
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Um, but we'll wrap up here, but tell tell everybody like where they find your portfolio site, all that stuff.
About me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All my portfolios, my main portfolio is
Okay.
have any personal site. Never wanted to. I think it's kind of unless you are selling
I
merchandise.
understand that.
Yeah, since I don't sell, or probably it's something that I should do at some point. I don't know, but since probably I spend 15 hours a day working for the team, for the guys working with, and the rest of the day I draw for myself. I have people that ask for stickers or prints. I have an old, very old red bubble with some, but I need to. So I don't have an actual portfolio. It's everything. It's on Instagram. So
Okay,
that's
totally.
the
No,
place where
no,
people can the
I'm
most.
only that like artists are like keeping their own work savable that they can get to. I don't usually like if you don't have a portfolio site. I mean, I'm from kind of last batch and needed a portfolio site to apply for a job.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
happy I don't have to do
actually
that anymore.
I don't have I feel like about this, but I don't have any needs to find a job, but because when my collaboration was over with that other company, I was
Yeah.
already entering the Supercell for a certain span of time. The two words were like overlaid, you know.
Yeah, no, that's happy if
In
you're
the
lucky.
last, yeah, it's for such a long time. Didn't have the need to find a job or to send applications, but if I need to send an attachment, some visual portfolio, I
Yeah.
have a PDF of my last art book.
Well,
It's probably
that's
yeah,
definitely good.
it's the best thing I could send if I would need find a job because it kind of incorporate of my all of my 2019 up to 2022. So it's good 3 years of personal work that
Yeah, that gives people like a good idea of the range, your style, that stuff.
yeah, and after all the book ranged just like a very big portfolio. So
Yeah.
I think I just use if I would need it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome back anytime, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. It was my first time. I was a bit nervous, but I hope I hope it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my interview with Andrew Cockroach. As always, with anybody who I talk to on the show, definitely go check out everything they have to offer over on his Instagram. Once again, that's at Andrew Cockroach over on Instagram. I believe he's also Andrew Cockroach over on ArtStation. But Instagram will probably be your best bet for more from him, so definitely go check that out. And if you want to check out more of my stuff, you can find that either wherever you're listening to this. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, be sure to subscribe because new episodes come out every Thursday. And if you are watching this or want to be watching this over on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button in the box down below as well as the bell so you get alerted to whenever a new episode drops, which once again, if you're wondering, is just about every Thursday unless I go somewhere and take some time off, which I will always let you guys know. Other than that, you can find stuff that I've written, these podcasts, you know, more stuff from me over on bento-box.ghost.io, which if you super like the kinds of stuff I do, you can actually subscribe over there for free and get that stuff in your inbox as an email every week when I do publish things or when I do publish, a written piece or a written interview. I've done an interview with the two of the three directors behind the newest season of Panty and Stocking over there. I've also published a piece about anime and finance and I have a couple more pieces that I'm vaguely working on, doing my best to finish. But when I do, that stuff will go up over there. So be sure to check that out. And if you want to hear from a specific artist that I may not know, be sure to leave their name in the comments. I'm gonna release a short video that is more succinct about that, but leave their name in the comments, and I will do my best to reach out and check them out and try and get them on the show. But until next time, I have been Alex. This has been Bento Radio, and I will talk to you later.